How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to the All Day Poker YouTube channel. My name is Josh, and today we're going to be hopping into this $50 no limit hold'em Deepstack tournament as part of the PASCOOP Spring Championship Series. We're hopping in for 250 big blinds to start. Currently only 13 places paid, but with 2.5 hours of late registration, that number is going to go up to what I estimate to be around 100 places paid. And the top prize currently sits at about 3,000, but I imagine that's going to increase as well. So without further ado, let's get right into the hands. All right, we're going to be going for a nice little 3-bet bluff here from the small blind with the King-7 offsuit against this late position raise, and he makes the snap call. Now this board certainly is very dry, so he's going to be folding a lot of his ace highs, king highs, and he makes the call. And the 3 of hearts brings in a triple paired board. We're going to increase the sizing up to 70%. He makes the call. And now I think we're going to fire once again for 70% with this ace is perfect for our range. Should we get it through? Nice little river card there to help our bluff if he was calling us down with a hand like pocket 6s through pocket 10s. The ace certainly would have scared him away there. So nice little run out for us. That hand puts us up in the 9th out of 148, but we're still in the early stages. Just 5,000 chips over starting stack, so let's see if we can keep this train rolling. All right, we're going to be opening up the Jack-10 suited here, or offsuit in the button, over this under the gun limp. Expect him to call. He does. I think this king-high board definitely favors our range, and we have a gut shot to the straight in case we get called, and we do not. Pick up a nice little small pot there. All right, we got the pocket 10s here in early position. We're going to open that up at 2.2. And it folds around, unfortunately. Now the 8-7 suited, we will be opening up to 2.2 big blinds as well. And we get 3-bet. At these stack sizes, I'm going to have to call this 3-bet here with the 8-7 suited. And we completely miss this board, so it's going to be an easy check fold here on this ace-high board where we have absolutely nothing. He checks it back here. I think he's going to be checking back a lot of hands like pocket aces, pocket jacks here on that dry board, and also some weaker holdings that he could be scared of the ace with pocket queens, but I think he's going to be 3-betting a lot of those. I honestly think he's going for a slow play here. Now this guy here is actually affiliated with PokerStars. He's sponsored and he's currently streaming, so in about 4 minutes I'll be able to see what he had there, and I'll let you guys know the next hand I play. See if I made a good fold with the 8 high. Hard to imagine I made a bad fold though. All right, we're going to be defending our big blind here with the 7-9 offsuit. And we miss this board completely, unfortunately. Going 3 ways, we're just going to check fold against this under the gun razor. has a lot of strong hands in range. You know, let him have it. We're gonna open up the Queen Jack here, middle position. Folds around to the big blind, who folds as well. We'll take it. Always nice to pick up a small pot with the marginal hand, like Queen Jack offsuit. Now we are going to raise up the Ace-6 suited here, up to 2.2. Folds around to the big blind once again, who decides to make the call. Now, this is not a very good board for us here, but we got a dominant chip stack over the big blind player here. And when he calls the flop, the flush gets in there. We're going to be shutting down the bluff here. And the fourth diamond comes in, so now it's going to just be an easy fold. Currently sitting in 33rd out of 177. Not too bad. Still got 2 hours of late registration left. See if we can keep playing aggressive while we got Deepstack here. I forgot to fill you guys in on the last hand, but that hand where I had the 8-7 suited, the streamer I'm playing against here, Whoops Boom, his stream caught up and I saw that he had pocket aces, so we made a good laydown with the 8-7 suited. We only had 8 high, so weren't really thinking of calling there, but made a good read and definitely made the right decision calling the pre-flop raise with the chance to potentially stack him, playing very deep. We're going to raise up this King 10 suited up to 4 bigs. And the small blind calls, checks it over. On this board, we are going to check it back. Much favors his limp calling range. And we turn a diamond, which picks up a flush draw for us. I think we are just going to call this turn bet in position and try to hit a diamond on the river, which we do not, unfortunately. Don't think we're going to be able to bet at this one. Don't see much value bluffing here. I don't know what he's betting on the turn. I think we're just going to give up here. Yeah, he has a pair of sixes. Hard to imagine he folds. I don't have very many eights in my pre-flop raising range from the big blind there. So I think if we go for a bet there, unless we go really, really large, which is hard to do with just king high, I think he's going to call there with this pair of nines. All right, we're going to be opening up the Queen 7 suited here on the button. And we get 3-bet from the big blind, unfortunately. He's definitely going to have a lot of bluffs in range here, but Queen 7 suited is definitely not a candidate worthy of calling. So we're just going to let him have that one. Now, the Ace-6 offsuit, we could look at a potential 3-bet bluff here. And indeed we are going to go for it. Bump it up to 7.5. And he makes a call, unfortunately. But on this dry board, we're going to be betting half pot. And we get it through. Very nice. Alright, we're going to be calling here on the button against an early position raise with the ace-7 suited. And we get squeezed from the big blind, unfortunately. Ooh. We are going to call and play this 3-bet pot in position. Now we flop top pair. And he leads out for a large sizing. And the original opener makes the call. Now with top pair here, this is a gross spot. I'm just going to fold. I do not like the spot. It's highly likely that one of these guys has an overpair over our 7s. And when he fires again on the turn, unlikely he just has a hand like ace-king. So, unfortunate. Now we got the ace-jack suited here. We're going to be putting in a 3-bet. If it folds to us. And we are going to size to 8 big blinds here after the raise and call. Going to be folding to a 4-bet if Mr. Miyagi here decides to play back at us. Love to see 2 folds here, or at least 1 fold. Would not like to play this one multi-way. And the original raiser does call. Now this is a very wet and connected board. We are going to be putting in a half pot size bet here. We do have the gut shot straight draw and the backdoor flush draw in case we do get called. But we do not get the chance because he raises it up on us. Right here, unfortunately. We're just going to have to let this one go. We are going to be defending our big blind with the king-4 suited here. And we miss this board, unfortunately. Just going to have to check fold. Maybe it checks around, and we do not improve. Once again, we're just going to check fold. We are going to be 3-betting the 8-9 suited here up to 10 big blinds. Little 3-bet bluff, and we get snap called, cold called from the small blind. But we do have a hand that plays very well post flop. We flop top pair. Do need to be careful about what the small blind's cold calling us with. I think this is a safe spot to put out a half pot size bet. Would love to see a fold here, and we do. Nice little pickup in the multi-way 3-bet pot. That puts us back up into, let's see here, 87th of 251 players. All right, we got the ace queen offsuit here in the big blind. We are going to be putting in a 3-bet up to 10 big blinds. And we get it through. Ace queen offsuit there is kind of right on the borderline of calling or raising, but I obviously like to lean towards the aggressive approach. Pick up a nice little pot there. We're going to be raising up the pocket eights here in the small blind to 3.5. And the big blind folds. We'll take it. All right, we're going to be raising up the ace-10 offsuit here in early position. We get 3-bet on the button. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to let this one go. Now we got the 9-10 suited. We will be opening up as well. From early position, you're going to open up 2.2. A lot of 3-betting going on this table currently. So hopefully we do not get squeezed here. That will put us in a tough spot. Not when he just straight up jams his whole 70 big blind stack in there. Going for a 10x jam gives us an easy decision. Currently sitting in 125th. Still an hour and a half left in late registration. And I think, let's see, yeah, 41 places paid currently, but that's going to keep increasing. All right, we're going to be going for the 3-bet here on the big blind with our ace-10 suited. And we get it through. Very nice. Okay, we're going to open up the king-jack offsuit here. 2.2 from early position. Would not mind this one folding around. Definitely would not like to get 3-bet here. And we do get called, but on this dry board with the ace-high flop, we're going to be putting out a half pot size bet here. And he does make the call. I think we're going to continue with and size up a little bit to 70% pot. We have all the strong aces in our range. And he calls again, unfortunately. I think we're just going to have to check and give up here. Yeah, he's got a weak ace there. I don't think we're going to be able to push him off that hand with our king high. So nice little check back on the river there. Save ourselves some money. Maybe he folds a6 if I jam all in on the river, but that's a tough spot to go all in when you get called on the flop and turn, going all in with king high. So we'll let him have that one. Now we got the ace-jack offsuit in the big blind. I think we're just going to flat this one. We've been putting in a lot of 3-bets. Need to balance out our range a little bit, especially against this early position raise. And we miss this board. Unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to check fold. Not much reason to stick around here. Actually, against this small flop sizing, we're going to peel one. And we do pick up a pair of jacks. Now he fires out again for half pot. We are going to make the call. And the flush comes in, which I think we are going to try to represent. We're just gonna check it over to him. And he mucks. He had a flush draw he picked up on the turn. He was betting with complete air on the flop. So we made a good float there on the flop with our ace high. Picked up the jack on the turn. And we got it through. Made it the right decision there to just check on the river. We had the best hand, but he wasn't going to call a bet. So I thought about potentially turning my pair of jacks into a bluff and try to get him off of a hand like ace-king or king-queen. But not really any reason to do that when I'm sitting with a decently strong hand like ace-jack there, which is going to be good a large portion of the time. So just check it over to him, give him a chance to bet at it, and then call him down. But picked up a nice little pot there, putting us up into, we are sitting in 124th out of 253. So not doing super well here after losing that king-jack hand, but we're sitting right about middle of the pack. We got the pocket threes here in the big blind. We're going to be defending here, hoping to drill a set, which we do not, unfortunately. So now we're just going to have to check fold on this particular board. Oh, a reason to stick around here. Looking at the queen 7 against an under the gun raise, we're just going to fold the queen 7 in the small blind here. All right, we're going to open up the queen jack offsuit here in late position to 2.2. And it folds through. Now we get queen 10 of the suited variety here. In middle position, going to be open raising this one as well to 2.2. And we get 3-bet, unfortunately. And then a cold call on the button. We're getting a good price here. This is a tough spot. We don't really want to play out of position, but I think we're getting too good of a price to fold. Calling 5 into a pot of almost 19, and we flop a flush draw, which is excellent. We're going to check it to the 3-better. Puts in a bet. I think we're going to go for the check raise bluff, jam it all in here. Put some pressure on his ace highs, get him to fold his ace kings, ace queens, and also puts a little bit of pressure on hands like pocket tens. And we drill our flush on the turn. We finally make a nice strong hand and get paid off. Nice little play there before the break. That puts us up into, let's see here, up into 41st out of 256 remaining. Sitting at 55 places paid, $3,000 up top. Lovely little double up there before the break. And let's see if we can keep it up. Okay, we got the ace 10 suited here in this big blind. I think I am just going to flat call here. And we miss this board, unfortunately. Checks around on the flop. Don't think there is much we can do here. Just gonna have to let this one go. The reason I called and didn't 3-bet is because we gotta mix in some calls with our hands as well. We can't always be 3-betting hands like ace 10 suited, because then our 3-betting range just becomes way too weak. If we're gonna 3-bet hands like ace 10 suited, ace 5 offsuit, king 5 offsuit, we do need to mix in some calls, or else our calling range is too weak and our 3-betting range is also way too weak. We got the queen 4 suited here, folded around to us in the small blind. Got bottom pair here, no real reason to get tricky. Could be good with our pair. And now there's a 4-liner to the straight, so any 10 making a straight, but we do improve to 2 pair. I think we're just going to try to get to showdown, and he wins it with the 10-3 offsuit, unfortunately. Interesting that he did not put out a bet there with the straight. He's only losing to ace 10, so interesting spot there. If he bets a small bet there, I think I'm going to have to call with my 2 pair, so he missed out on a little bit there. Now the king queen offsuit here. I think I'm actually going to let this one go. He's putting in 3 out of his 14 remaining big blinds. It's a very strong play, almost stronger than if he just jammed it all in immediately. And king queen offsuit's a pretty marginal hand as is, so we'll just let him have that one. Now we're going to raise up the ace 5 suited here, but we completely brick this board. We're going to check this one to the button, see if it checks around, which it does. We get no improvement on the turn, unfortunately, so I think we're just going to have to fold this one here. Let's see how it plays out when Matty C calls the turn. Hard to imagine he's checking. Maybe he's got a hand like pocket tens. I think would probably check that flop, but it's too strong to just fold to the first sign of aggression. Could be a hand he had on there. But sitting in 57th of 265 now. About a little less than an hour left in late registration, so let's keep it up. All right, we got the queen 9 offsuit against a small blind limp. We're going to check it and see a flop of ace 5 4. And we are just going to let him have this one. Okay, I'm going to open up the ace deuce offsuit here to 2.2 in late position. Would hate to get 3-bet or shoved on here. We do not. Now, on this particular board, with the ace of clubs blocking some flush draws, I'm going to put out a little less than a half pot size bet. Against this big blind's defending range. It's going to be very wide, so we'll take it down on the flop there with ace high. Very nice. not seeing too many good hands here. Running pretty card dead, unfortunately, but we're hanging in there in 78th place with 266 remaining. 40 minutes left in late registration. We got the ace queen suited here on the button. It's our first premium we've seen in quite some time. Been running pretty poorly here in the middle stages of this tournament. We're going to open this up to 2 big blinds. We're going to be calling or 4-bet shoving over any potential 3-bet here. And we flop the nut flush draw in 2 overs. We're going to be continuation betting here on this board. Although this board does connect fairly well with both of these ranges, but I'm happy to play for stacks here. And that's looking like what it's coming down to. We're ripping it all in with the ace queen suited to try to put some pressure on their 1-pair hands and their draws. And we get it through. A nice little semi-bluff there with the ace queen suited. Let's see. That folds out a lot of hands. Like any just pair of jacks, honestly, can't feel that good there. When I bet, get called, then get raised and jam over top. It's a nice little spot there, and our stack set us up pretty well for that push on the flop there. Very nice. We're up to 58th, and we're going to be opening up the queen king offsuit here. We get called by a short stack on our left, which is not good. If we miss this board, we're going to be checking a lot because this person to my left, and it won't come to it. See, now that is a very strong play. Only raising 3x over an open and 2 callers. We are out of here with the king-queen offsuit. Let's see how it would have played out, though. I think this last cast guy has pocket aces, maybe pocket jacks. But since I had a king and a queen, we block a lot of kings and queens. I'd have to put a significant amount of money on aces here. Especially with a 3rd pot size bet on the flop, and it looks like we're going to see it. And he does have the aces. And the pocket 7s crack the aces with the 9 on the river. Oh my, the runner. Oh, brutal for the aces there. We got the ace 8 suited. Now we're going to open it up. And let's see. We'd not like to see jam here. We avoid the jam. And it folds around. Slight improvement with the ace 9 suited now. It seems like I get all my playable hands in a row. Just fold for 15 minutes and then play 3 hands, then fold for 15 minutes. And I don't like how it makes my image at the table look, because I raise and then I raise again and then I raise again on the next hand. It starts making me look a little looser, which opens people up to 3-betting me. On this board, we are going to put in a check against the big stack, and he checks it back. So I think it is a safe spot to start a little semi-bluff here. We do have the gut shot, and ace high is going to be good there a large portion of the time against hands like king queen, king 10, 8-9 suited. He just has a lot of whiffs in that range. Sitting in 63rd of 240 remaining. 71 places paid. Looking good. Queen 9 suited here on the button. This guy has been playing very aggressive. I am going to go for a small 3-bet bluff here with the queen 9 suited. would love to avoid the 4-bet here, obviously. Would prefer a fold. If he calls, it wouldn't be horrible. Queen 9 suited has very good playability post-flop, but unfortunate, he jams on us, and we're going to have to fold. Okay, we're going to be defending our big blind with the 5-6 suited here. And oof, that is a hideous board. Not the flop we were looking for at all. We're just going to have to fold there. Going to be raising up the ace-queen suited here from early position. Folds to the small blind. We'll happily call jams from both of these players if they do decide to rip it all in. And it does not come to that. Folds around. Okay, I'm going to be defending the big blind with the deuce 5 suited. And we do flop a pair on this board. I'm going to check it to the pre-flop aggressor. And it checks through, and we pick up a flush draw on the turn and a gut shot to the straight. It is a weak flush draw, so we're just going to call here. And we do not improve, and now any 5 or 10. We do improve to a straight, but any 10 makes a better straight. He goes for half pot. This is tough. I think I need to call, though. And we win it. Excellent. Oh, tough spot there where any 10 beats us, but I don't think he has many 10s that he's calling the flop, or that he's calling a turn bet with. So he had the gut shot on the turn, and he went for a, guess he was value betting his 8 on the river. That I have no idea. He wasn't really bluffing because he only went for a half pot size bet. But we're going to call with the deuces on in the small blind. Hopefully we can catch a set, would be lovely. Hopefully this guy doesn't go all in. And he does. Now this is a tough spot. That makes it a lot easier. Yeah. See, I almost was priced in to call that jam if large fish folded, but we would have been in bad shape with our deuces against the 7s, so large fish saved us some money there by calling that all in. We are going to raise up the ace-9 offsuit here on the button. We're going to have to fold to any 3-bet with this holding. We do get called by the small blind. That'll most likely bring the big blind along as well. He's thinking about it, that's for sure. He folds. This is a pretty ugly board for us. We do flop a gut shot straight draw, but with a monotone board where we do not hold a club, we are just going to check it back. And he checks it again. Don't think there's any merit to betting here. Ace high could be good. No reason to inflate the pot. And let's see if ace high good. Ace high not good. Got a pair of jacks, but not ever really gonna bluff into that with no club in hand. And now Gonna raise up the pocket tens here in middle position. Would happily call a jam here. Does not come to that. Now queen 9 suited. We're gonna be playing this one as well. If it folds to us, and it does. Go for 2.2 again. Would like to see this one fold around, and that's tough. See, he's going to be jamming a pretty wide range with less than 10 bigs. So we're getting a decent price, but not good enough to call with queen 9. So we'll let him have it. Gonna open up the king queen offsuit here, middle position. Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to fold to a jam here. That's tough. I might need to call. Oh, this is a tough spot. I think I'm getting too good of a price to fold here. Nice. No ace. No ace. Excellent. We pick up a nice little pot there. See, I had a feeling I was going to get it in a little bit behind there because he's jamming every ace that he has. He's going to jam. So I thought there was a good chance I was up against ace X, and any weak ace is almost a flip. I got 40% equity, as you saw on the flop there. But when I have 2 big blinds already invested and there's antes and another big blind posted, I'm just getting a good enough price where 40% equity warrants a call. So that worked out well. We're going to defend our big blind here with the 4-3 suited. Now we do flop bottom pair, but on an ace high board, he's going to connect with fairly well. But we're not going to fold our 3s just yet. We're going to bet small here. With the 7 coming out, as we would with a 7, and it works. Nice little tricky play there. When that middle card pairs, I have all the 7s in range, and he has barely any. So it's a nice little spot where if he has air, he's just going to fold sometimes, and if he has marginal hand, he's just going to call, and then that opens up a nice opportunity to bluff him off a weak hand on the river. And if he raises, you just can happily fold, and you're only risking 2 big blinds there. So nice little play to pick up that pot, leading us into the ace-king offsuit, which we are going to limp to try to get tricky and induce a jam, which does not work, unfortunately. We're going to put out a half pot size bet here, and he jams it on us. Oh, this is just gross. I think he's just going to have a pair here. See, that backfired by limping pre-flop, unfortunately. Letting him see a flop, probably made a pair, and then he's shallow enough where he just jams it all in with any pair there, knowing I'm not going to have a pair very often. But I thought it was worth it as opposed to just going all in and getting a fold out of him. Sitting in 36th place at the break, not too bad. Be back with some more hands shortly. Gonna open up the king 6 offsuit here on the button, and we get called from the small blind, who leads out. Do not like the spot when he's betting 3 out of his 10 remaining bigs. He's just going to have a jack here way too often. Best case scenario is a flush draw or a weaker 6, which is just very unlikely. Just got to fold there. Sucks folding a pair in late position versus blind situations, but At his stack size, it just doesn't make much sense that he would be doing that with any hand that I'm beating. Got ace king offsuit here on the button. We are going to be 3-betting this under the gun raise. Could be ending up getting it all in here. We are going to settle on a sizing of 8 big blinds. And we are calling and all in. That's not really what we wanted to see. It was just a flat call. We'd love a jam here from large fish. And that is why we hate to see just a call, because if we do not have an ace or a king, it's going to be hard to realize some of our equity here. We are going to put out a 6.4, about quarter size pot, and we get jammed on. That's just horrible. He's probably got a hand like pocket tens, something. Maybe I check back that flop, but I'm trying to represent overpairs to get him to fold his. He could have flush draws too. I don't think that's a good c-bet on that board. Obviously, it's a lot easier to say it's a bad c-bet when you get jammed on, but that sucks. Maybe I should have just open ripped the ace king. Hate to see it. That puts a pretty big hit into our stack, and we go down to 114th out of 183 remaining. So definitely not an ideal situation with the ace king there, but I definitely think I could have played it better by just checking back that flop, protecting my stack a little bit, and there's always the chance that we turn an ace or a king. But that's all right. Still in there, still in here. Gonna be raising up the ace 6 suited here, early position. 2 big blinds. We're gonna be folding to that, unfortunately. Getting beat up these last few hands. Let's see, we got late registration has closed. 79 places paid. So let's see if we can find our way into the money after taking a pretty big hit to our stack. Okay, we got the ace king suited here in the small blind. We're going to be all in no matter what happens here. Would love to see a raise. Excellent. All right, hopefully we get called by something worse. Here would be lovely. We're flipping, and we hit the king. Let's go. No 5, no 5. Oh my God. Oh my God, he hit the 5 on the river. Are you serious? And we're out in 153rd. Brutal. Brutal. Hate to see it. All right, guys, that is going to wrap up this $50 Deepstack PASCOOP tournament. Unfortunately, we did not make the money. We were doing pretty well there, got up to 36th, I think was our peak in the standings, and then lost a couple big hands with the ace-king, and then just blinded down. We didn't really get too many hands to play. Don't think we had any premium pocket pairs, just ace-king, ace-queen a couple times, but what are you going to do? Can't win them all. Put up a good fight. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment if there's any questions you may have or hands you would have played differently yourself. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Take care.